All right, so let's talk about pricing your product. I just got discovered something pretty cool here with a little bit of math, which I didn't do. All right, take that, math teacher. Why the fuck did you force me to do math? All right, anyways, what we're doing is we have a action for my SaaS where people can take a call transcript and get it summarized. And so we're offering them two different options. One is 4.0 and one is 4.0 mini. The difference here is the pricing. So with 4.0 mini, I mean, apart from the intelligence, the difference is the pricing. So with 4.0 mini, I'm going to ignore the input tokens just because that's less significant than the output tokens, where for 4.0 mini, output tokens cost 600 or 60 cents per 1 million. But with 4.0, it's $10 per 1 million output tokens. So what we're saying here is that 4.0 is significantly more expensive than 4.0 mini. But we still want to give people an option, and we still want to charge them a certain amount of credits. So basically, we're charging them 3 credits or 2 credits based on the model that they used. But there's all types of things we could do here. We could do mini is just 1 credit instead, which would make more sense. If this actually scaled with the cost of the AI, then this would have to be like 1, and this would have to be like 20 credits, which is ridiculous because if we look at our pricing, which I should be able to pull up somewhere here, stand by. So these are our plans. So on the starter plan, it costs 5 cents per credit. The growth plan is 3 cents per credit, and then the scale plan is 1 cent per credit. And so that would be ridiculous if we charged 20 credits, because 20 times 5, that would be $1 per summary, which is just ridiculous. At this, with the starter plan, it's 15 cents per summary, or 5 cents on the mini model, and, lower for the higher plans. But I think it's actually better to do GPT 4.0, have cost 3 credits per summary, and mini to cost 2 credits per summary. And that's because my assumption here is that if the cost of mini is only slightly lower than the cost of 4.0, more people will choose 4.0, and that will actually generate more profit. So here's the math here. The options that it came up with were either mini would cost, so these are the options. So either mini would cost 1 credit per execution, and you could use your own API key. If you used your own API key, it would still cost a credit, and we wouldn't even use your API key. But for 4.0, we would use your API key, and it would only cost 1 credit instead of 3 credits. So that's a little bit maybe confusing because you put in your own API key, but it doesn't get used for mini. And the other option is to just charge more for mini and then hope that more people choose 4.0. And here's the math. So what we assume is that if mini costs 1 credit and 4.0 costs 3 credits, probably about 60% of people would choose mini, and only 40% or potentially even less would choose 4.0 because it would be it's less attractive because it's more expensive. So at that mark, here's the cost, per input token or per output token. What we calculate is that our profit would be roughly $3 plus 560. So our profit would be $8.56 per 100 executions if mini was prioritized, if mini got more usage. But if we make mini cost 2 credits and 4.0 cost 3 credits, we're going to get less executions of mini and more uses of 4.0. Now 4.0 costs more, so you might think, okay, maybe it doesn't make sense to actually, incentivize people to choose that one. But if we do the math here, well, if I force an LLM to do the math for me, we see that with only 30 mini executions, we make about $3 in profit, which is somehow the same. Oh, yeah. $3 in profit because it's twice as expensive, so even half the executions, same profit. But then if more people choose 4.0, we're actually generating almost $10 in profit, which is a 50% increase in profitability just by this slight switch of pricing, incentivizing people to choose mini or to choose the full 4.0 model more often. So anyways, I just thought that was really interesting, that you could play with your pricing in a way like that and make it much more profitable. I do like what the AI says right here, where it says, this suggests Plan B, which is 2 credits for Mini and 3 for 4.0, is significantly more profitable across all pricing tiers if the usage assumptions hold true. And that means that we're assuming that 70% of people will use the 4.0 if it's slightly more expensive than Mini. So that's the real question. Will these assumptions hold true? I'm willing to bet they'd be pretty close, but that's the real kind of assumption that you're making. And obviously you can do research and testing to figure out, where the truth lies. But yeah, in general, I think even if your cost to fulfill is higher, like slightly higher, you could still make more profit by just charging more. Because in essence, I mean, in this case, you make more profit regardless, but even a small increase in profit can make a big difference because a lot of the cost is actually in acquiring the customer and, other stuff that you're not charging directly for. So, anyways, hope you enjoy the video.